What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Leo coming to you guys with yet another video. Coming to you guys today with my Crown Jewel 2023 predictions. Crown Jewel is this Saturday, and it's starting at a different time, as we all know, because that's how they like to do these shoddy shows. And it's gonna be kind of starting at like 12, I believe, my time and stuff like that. So I want to give you guys my predictions for that card. We don't really have that many matches, so this should be very short and sweet to the point and everything like that. And I'll give you guys some of my reasons why I feel like they would win and stuff like that, and how ultimately I can see a lot of these scenarios playing out as far as these matches go. So we're gonna get into it. The kickoff show: Sami Zayn versus JD McDonough. Sami Zayn cut a real passionate promo on Monday, and after thinking about it, I think what that they're trying to do is slowly set him up to potentially get into that world title seat in the near future. And I think for Sami Zayn, he is a credible guy that I do think a lot of people want to see become world champion in the future. So I do think it's only a matter of time, and they're going to start slowly building to that. And I think if they're actually going to do that, Sami Zayn's gonna have to win here. JD hasn't really been doing too much as of late. He's been kind of just been like that third wheel in the Judgment Day storyline and kind of helping them out and stuff like that. So he kind of helped them get the titles back and everything like that. So we will see how that goes. But Sami Zayn is definitely picking up the win here. The next match we got to talk about the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus Senor Money in the Bank and Tag Team Champion Damian Priest. Um, who do I think is going to win? I think Cody is definitely going to win this match. And I think another scenario that could potentially be playing out here is similar to how things played out with WrestleMania 31, because then Seth Rollins was Mr. Money in the Bank and he lost his match earlier in the night and then cashed in later in the night and stuff like that. So maybe this is a scenario that could potentially play out. He loses and then he cashes in later in the show, because I do think for some reason I think the Judgment Day are going to be heavily involved in that world title picture overall. So I do think that is something that they're going to be trying to get involved in some way, shape, or form. But the next match for the United States Championship, we got the current champion Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul. They have been slow. Logan Paul pretty much had a interview after his boxing fight, and he called out Rey Mysterio, and Rey Mysterio responded, and he says, "If you want this opportunity at this championship, it ain't too hard to find." And bing, bada, boom, you have your match for Crown Jewel. First, Logan Paul is just on another level when it seems like it comes to Crown Jewel or something, whatever. He's been definitely on a different, operating on a different level as of late. And I honestly, who do I think is gonna win? I think Logan Paul wins the United States Championship. I really do. I think Logan Paul winning that championship could potentially do wonders for the championship overall, because the United States Championship hasn't really had any type of importance at whatsoever in a long time, and I think it's about time that they start putting some prestige back on that championship. And I think Logan Paul could be the guy to do that. Because I mean, think about the people we've had in the past. We've had Austin Theory and stuff like that. So we gotta kind of have like a new breath of fresh air with that United States Championship and stuff like that. So I think the only way Logan Paul doesn't win is if Ricochet ends up getting involved, because they kind of been playing that feud kind of slowly on Raw as well. But I think the ultimate goal, if they want to continue that feud, I think Logan Paul wins the championship, and then his first feud is Ricochet. And I think that's probably the route that they should go in as far as that goes. But who do I have winning? Logan Paul to win the championship and be crowned the new United States champion. The next match, we got John Cena versus Solo Sikoa. John Cena pretty much cut a promo a couple weeks ago saying he hasn't really won a match in about 5 years. The last time he won a match was at the Greatest Royal Rumble, and I believe he defeated Triple H at that pay-per-view. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's been over 2,000 days since he's won a singles match. So I think if this was a scenario where it seemed like John Cena was retiring, then I would have said Solo Sikoa. But in this scenario, I think John Cena should win this. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if they were to give Solo the win, because they have been trying to build him up as being that true enforcer behind Roman and stuff like that. So I think if they want to push that narrative, then they could. But I think in this scenario, I think John Cena should get the win. Plus, Solo Sikoa did stand tall over John Cena and hit him with the Samoan Spike last week on SmackDown. And well, we don't know what the Go Home show is going to detail. I know it's pre-recorded and stuff like that, so we will have to see. But I think John Cena is going to win over Solo Sikoa. The next match we got to talk about for the WWE Women's Championship, Io Sky versus Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair returned last week, the week before, and said that she came back because the Damage Control did take her out, and she's been off screen for 2 months now. She's come back with a vengeance, trying to take out everybody from Damage Control and everything like that. And I think when you really think about it, it wouldn't surprise me if they were to give the title to Bianca here, simply because they've been saying that for WrestleMania they want to do Bianca and probably Charlotte, or Bianca and Jade for the title at Mania. So if that's what they're trying to do, then I would say okay. But I think they're gonna hold off on that. I really do. I think they're gonna hold off on it and have Io win. But I can also see Bianca winning, but by a DQ, so Io still retains the title, if that makes sense. Comment down below, what do you guys think how this match can play? I think it's going to end by a DQ or something, because Damage Control is going to probably try to pay dividend. But Bianca's pretty much done this before. She's pretty much taken out all members of the Damage Control to get and beat Bayley when they had their feud. So we will see. But I do have Io Sky retaining that title in a Women's World Championship match. These matches are going to be completely championship heavy from here on out. So for the Women's World Championship in a fatal 5-way, Rhea Ripley defending the championship against Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Raquel Rodriguez, and Zoe Stark. Honestly, I think Rhea Ripley's still going to retain, but this is her biggest task today as being champion, because she's been champion for about 6 months now. And it's crazy to think in the 6 months that we've had up until this point, she really hasn't had any credible threats to her title or title reign overall besides Raquel, and that's it. And this right here is definitely going to be her biggest tub, because here's the thing. She doesn't need to be involved in the decision to lose her championship. So that's going to make it even more interesting to see if something like this does happen. If I was to pick anybody else outside of Rhea to potentially walk with this championship, I would say Raquel Rodriguez or Shayna Baszler. I think those are the main three right there. And a lot of people have been making case for Nia Jax. I could see anybody outside of Zoe Stark, of course, winning this championship. People will probably have Nia. If they were to put the title on Nia Jax, it would simply be to piss off fans, and then Rhea can get the title back on Monday and stuff like that. I can see a scenario like that happening, but I think Rhea Ripley should retain here, and she keeps that title going into Mania and stuff like that. So I have Rhea Ripley retaining the Women's World Championship. Up next for the World Heavyweight Championship, we got Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. This has been by far like one of my favorite feuds going into this show. Easily one of my favorite feuds going into the show by far. And I think this is going to be potentially match of the night, honestly. We've seen these two go at it before. The promos that they've had in the lead up to this match, and Seth Rollins telling Drew, get over it, get over the bloodline. What it's done is done. Drew's going. He's been having like this whole vignette, and I've loved what they've been doing. It's making it even more interesting. Honestly, like I said earlier, Judgment Day are going to be heavily involved in this match, trying to recruit one of these guys, whether it be Seth Rollins or Drew McIntyre. We've seen a couple weeks ago Rhea Ripley in backstage talking to Drew, so we don't know what they were discussing, but you would have to think that whatever they were discussing could potentially be a factor here, and maybe Drew was playing it off and said he had nothing to do with the Judgment Day, but in reality he really did, and he's also going to be the newest member as well. We will have to see, but if we're going to go with somebody here, as much as I love Seth Rollins, I'm going to go on a limb here, and I'm going to say Drew McIntyre wins. Here's the thing. If Seth Rollins wins, I think this is what's going to happen, regardless of what the scenario is. And I feel like Damian Priest is going to probably be involved in whatever happens here. Here's the thing. You could have the Judgment Day come out here and help Drew And then what happens is Drew is brought into the Judgment Day, and Damian Priest, he's kind of already been on the edge. He's really not really liking what the Judgment Day's been doing. And now that they bring in Drew McIntyre into the fold, he's gonna be like, what does that leave me now? And then he gets upset about it, and he just, instead of being kicked out, he leaves on his own demerit. He just says, you know what, I have enough, I'm out of here. Or, or like they've been saying, if Seth Rollins wins, this is probably the final nail in the coffin for a Drew McIntyre heel turn. He can't stand losing again when he was so close to winning the title. And Drew McIntyre, after the match, obliterates Seth Rollins, allowing the Judgment Day to come in and kind of help not Drew McIntyre, but Damian Priest cash in successfully and become the new World Heavyweight Champion. So I feel like there's two bigger scenarios that could happen. Either Drew McIntyre, wins the title, and he also turns heel in the process, or Drew McIntyre turns heel and obliterates Seth Rollins after Drew McIntyre loses, allowing Damian Priest and the Judgment Day to come and help Damian cash in, become the new World Heavyweight Champion. So I think there are more scenarios of Seth Rollins losing the title than, for Drew. So, and plus it also gives Seth some time off and stuff like that. And then he can come back when he's ready. And then he could probably have a feud with whoever's the world champion at that time. And he has a redemption story trying to get that title back. We will have to see. But on to the next match, which I believe, what I think is going to be the main event of the night. We have the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, the end-all be-all, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns, defending against the megastar, L.A. Knight. And honestly, man, these two have been having some words. Of course, I remember like the segment that when Roman came out and he was holding the title, and LA Knight just came and interrupted him. That was so funny to me. And then when they got in the ring for their contract signing, LA Knight was sitting at the head of the table. He said, "You can sit over there." And Paul Heyman is like, "What are you doing? You're not trying to take this table away from me, are you? You're not gonna. He's gonna sign that contract. He's gonna sign that title away." Yeah, and that was so funny to me. I honestly I love LA Knight, and I do think there are big plans in store for this guy. I think the sky is the limit for for the guy. But and he recently celebrated a birthday, but I don't think that's gonna be enough for him to win this championship here. I have Roman Reigns remaining on top and retaining that championship. I think LA Knight is going to put a hell of a fight for sure, but he's not going to win. I think there's going to be some shenanigans, of course. It's predictable with every Roman Reigns match that we end up getting and stuff like that. So Roman Reigns is going to figure out some way to retain. And I think coming out of this, I think LA Knight could be elevated as even a bigger star just because of the match he put on with Roman and stuff like that. And I think what you could do is potentially, if you want to, you could have him go after that U.S. Championship with Logan Paul, have him be the one to defeat Logan Paul for that U.S. Championship, or even have him win the Royal Rumble and have him face for whoever's the world champion on Raw. If Judgment Day is still, live and well with that world championship, whoever, if it's Damian Priest being a heel still, or Drew McIntyre, I think LA Knight would be a great candidate to compete against whoever it is for that championship. And I think people would definitely be behind him 100%. So I think there's still opportunities for him to still be able to get to that main event title scene. I just think with the way everything is with Roman Reigns right now, it would be a cool moment for him. For LA Knight, let's not get it twisted. That would probably be like the shock of the year, and a lot of people would be losing their minds for sure, and myself included, because I am an LA Knight fan. But I think when it's all said and done, Roman Reigns is still going to hold that championship. Because look at it, we're like 5 months away from Mania, so I think he's not going to drop that title till Mania. It's not, and it's like already it's being speculated he's not going to even be showing up at Survivor Series. So throughout the rest of this month, and then maybe he shows up like close to the end of December, setting things up for whoever his Royal Rumble opponent is and stuff like that. So, and he's probably not going to even be showing up for Elimination Chamber either. So that gap is going to be really big from now up until Mania, so for sure. So I think LA Knight would be a great candidate to win the championship, but he's not going to win when it's all said and done. But those are my predictions for Crown Jewel this Saturday. Comment down below your predictions for Crown Jewel this Saturday. Who you guys have winning? How you think a lot of these matches are going to end up being played out? Leave it all down in the comment section down below. I love having dialogues with you guys and having discussions about whatever, about different wrestling topics and stuff like that. Make sure if you are new, super kick that like button. Superman Punch, that post notification based every time I post a new video, whether it's a reaction video, predictions video, a gaming video, any type of video. You can be in the loop of things when I do drop a video. Also, spear that subscribe button. We're on the road to 700 subscribers. We're on the road to 700. We're getting closer and closer to that milestone. We're trying to get to 1K by the end of the year. I know we can do it. I know we are one of the biggest families growing on YouTube, and we're going to continue to grow throughout the rest of this year and in 2024. Big things are coming, and I want you guys to be right there by my side when I do break the news and stuff like that, and everything happens and stuff like that. So definitely be subscribed to the channel so you guys know when everything happens. But I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next video.